Okay, let's get to it. So this is a topic that was brought up by 78 Fight News TV. For those who don't know 78 Fight News TV, watch it. He has some good interviews and extremely funny. Not haha funny, but he just get into it anyways. Let's move forward. Um, so he brought up the topic of high score fight, and I thought that was an interesting topic of how we score fights because, like I said before, right, boxing is not like any other sport where the fights are scored not based on like when you score a basket in a basketball game or clear touchdown. Even touchdown is hard to score. You don't know if you crossed the line or not. You know, was he off? You know, all that stuff. Soccer, even a goal's hard to score because you know the person's offside. The hand touched the ball. You know, all this mumbo jumbo. But you put boxing into the mix and you just multiply that by 10. You don't know if it was a glancing blow. You don't know if it was a solid blow. You don't know if it the guy blocked it, and some angles doesn't quite show you if the person got hit or not. Was it below the belt? You know, all these intangibles that you can't really put into it. So boxing is by far the hardest game or match to score, and because we like different style of boxers, we like different boxers. We like it's race based. It's technique based. You know, some people might like a brawler. All this mumbo jumbo. You put all that in a mix and you find one person, a flawed person, with the bias eye view, judging whether the person won or not. So you can imagine how many times I had to hear somebody said, "Oh, that was a robbery. Oh, that was a robbery. That person clearly won." And that's what it comes down to. So, and to answer 78's question on how you know the the YouTube channels community judges score fights, I'm just gonna go by my own technique of judging fights. First off, it's gonna be all over the place because I really want to answer this question before I go to work because I might not have another time. So yeah, I'm gonna be all over the place, but hopefully somebody picks up what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so the way I judge it, I judge each round individually, right? And I judge each round a per minute increment. So each minute, I decide who won that minute, right? And if one fighter, let's say fighter A, 1 minute one and 1 minute two, I automatically get that round to that fighter, right? Or they won minute one and they lost minute two, but they won minute three. That goes to A as well. Or they won two and three, whatever. They had to win the majority of those minutes, right? Unless something drastic happened between those. The person who won the 1 minute out of the three did something drastic, like land a perfect wobbling shot. It has to be a shot where fighter A is retreating, had to regroup themselves. You know, that one really hurt. Something in that nature, right? Now, and the way I judged the minutes is based on, of course, effective aggression, ring generalship. Effective aggression, to me, I know 78 said he likes that, but to me that's hard to score effective aggression because someone like Margarita always comes forward, and someone like who else, Alara always goes backwards. So that's something Lara wants you to come to him. So I don't know if that's an effective aggression because you're basically coming to the person's, you know, traps. And another thing about aggression is that People have a different view what's effective. They, people hit the effective part, but they don't follow the effective part. They follow the aggression. If Brandon Rios come forward, they go, "Oh, he's making the fight. He's making the fight." That's not really true. A lot of times these fighters they come forward, they cut off the ring just so you could tie them up. They want you to tie them up because by the time they get to you, they don't know what to do. They'll cut off the ring, they'll come in front of you, and they'll come so close where only thing you could do is tie them up. You have no choice. There's no way you're not gonna tie up um, Maidana. There's no way you're not gonna tie him up. He comes close enough where you have to tie him up, or he put his head right in your chest, and you're afraid to bring your head down because you're gonna hit his head, right? You can't move because his arm's blocking you. You have no choice but to tie him up. It's not like he wants to, inside brawl. He doesn't want inside brawl. He wants you to. He just want to throw, and you're gonna have to tie him up. So is that effective aggressiveness? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, a lot of these fighters that come forward because they don't want you coming forward. They know coming forward they can't do nothing with you, but they know definitely if they're going backwards they can't do nothing at all. So they come forward anyways, and they complain, "I'm making the fight." So that to me is hard to score. But if someone could score effective aggressiveness properly, they feel like they got a hand on it. Good for them. Take me out of that equation. But ring generalship, that one I really like. Ring generalship is to me is basically when someone basically leads the person into what they want to do. In a sense, like if Margarito wants to come forward and you're making him move backwards, shoot, that's ring generalship. You're making him move backwards because you're taking his whole game plan away from him. You're saying his game plan, his floor plan for the fight is basically move forward on you. When you switch that up, let's say like Mayweather did to Canelo, he moved. Once the fight began, he went at Canelo. At that point, he controlled that ring. That's it, right? Um, Another instant of ring generalship is when the fighter wants to corner you and you keep it in the center of the ring. Like for instance, Marquez versus Pacquiao, right? Marquez basically tells Pacquiao, no matter what you do, I'm not going to the ropes. I'm gonna stay right here in the middle. That no matter how effective Pacquiao is, it's I gotta give some credit to Marquez for keeping it there. Even if Marquez get knocked down in the middle of the ring, but he's in the position where Pacquiao didn't want him to be, right? So I count those two. Another thing, I don't give no respect to fighters coming forward just to get tied up. You know you're gonna get tied up. I mean, how you get so close where you have to get tied up? The person reach out their hands. You know they're gonna try to grab you. Take a step back and take a step back and come back in. Take a step back, come back in. So if you walk to the person just to get tied up, I don't consider that as aggression. Other thing I don't like is flurries. I hate flurries. Like for instance, De La Hoya tried to flurry against Mayweather. He waits the last minute, try to flurry on the ropes. Ray Leonard flirted against Hagler. Of course, I am biased since I am from Brockton, Mass. But Ray Leonard, tried to flirt against Hagler, right? So I don't like fight. And Pacquiao flirted against Marquez. I mean, not Marquez, against Bradley in the first fight. He waited till the last minute and he went after him. Just like most fighters do in the last round, they wait till the last minute to go after someone just to flurry. I don't give no respect to flurry. I'm not gonna give you a round if you wait till the last minute to go after the person to throw it all in the bag. That's not working for me. So the four corners of the match I'm looking at is basically who's basically doing the better inside work. Who is one fighter able to corner the other fighter, and who does a better middle, who works better in the middle of the ring, and who has a better jab for the distance. Let's not forget, jab is the most important punch of boxing. That's just bottom line. Jab. I know a lot of fighters are stepping away from the jab. They want power punch. They want to counter. Jab is the most effective punch in boxing. So whoever has the better jab and keeping distant with the jab and controlling the ring with the jab, I give points for that too. So if the round is close, and this is controversial, if the round is close, I give it to the person that I felt looked more comfortable, right? Um, and if it's a championship fight, since I don't like draws, I don't like draw in the championship fight. For championship fight, I gotta give it to somebody, right? So I don't like draws. If the round is close, I give it to the champion. You gotta understand you're the minority. You're not the favorite. So if you're gonna go for it, you gotta go for it. The champion basically means to me, I know we live in a different era where that's not really true, but in the champion means to me that they're proven fighters. So they're proven that they get the benefit of a doubt. And if people don't believe in that, everyone gives their favorite fighter benefit of a doubt. So in order not to be biased, even if that fighter is not a fighter I like, if they're the champion, I might as well just give it to them. Let's be honest, like 78 said, we all bias. Okay? So if you're gonna be biased to someone that has earned it through way of championship. Right? So last question I'll answer is basically 78 also asks about how you score the stats. So I put up a stats on the screen of the first Castillo versus Mayweather fight. Obviously, you look at the stats, you're like, shit, Castillo won that fight, right? I scored that fight, and I thought Mayweather won that first fight, and I put up the stats just to piss off whoever thought Mayweather lost, and they're gonna look at it, they're gonna say, yeah, he lost. But I thought Mayweather won the first fight. Matter of fact, I thought the second fight was closer. Was if if I was to give a fight, one of the two to Castillo, I'll give them the second one. And a lot of people follow the first one. They're like, oh well, they're going by what somebody heard. Or he lost the first Castillo fight. No, to me, if you were to tell me he lost the second one, I won't argue with you. The first one, I don't think he lost the first one. Okay? Call me crazy, right? But the stats, I don't give him much credit unless it's a far in between. When you look at the percentage, right? The percentage is so far off, because we're human. We're looking at this. We're looking at the punch through a human eye, right? So it's not gonna be accurate. But if the distance is so far in between, I gotta give it credit, right? For instance, if you look at the 23% versus 31%, that's 8% different. That's close to 10%. You see what I'm saying? So I give that some credit. You look at the other percentages, 44 and 46. Who really knows, right? You look at the 44 and 35. That's close to, right? But you look at the power punch landed 173 to 66. What I look at is basically if Mayweather, who just came up in that division, first fight in that division in that weight class, Castillo, who's known as a power puncher, right, hit Mayweather 173 times with power punches, Mayweather should have been knocked the fuck out. Point blank, period. You're not gonna hit a smaller guy with that much power punch and then not be wobbled. And yeah, Mayweather was bruised up in that fight, but I don't think he got hit with 173 power punches. I saw the fight, I didn't think he did. So the stats, yeah, they make I look at them, but they have to be significantly far different. When you look at Mayweather landing 65% of his power punch against Maidana, and Maidana only landing like 34, I gotta give credit to Mayweather for that, right? If it's so far different. So the stats, they do matter, but only if they're exaggerately, I mean way off the chart. So like I said, let's go round by round. I do give, close rounds to the championship, to the champion, or the person who has all four of these who mastered all four of these categories, which is inside game, the corner, middle of the ring. Now, what I mean by, so one last thing about ring generalship, because I really like that, is ring generalship is like the fighter control the pace of the fight. You mean that if you like to fight fast, they make you fight slow. If you like to fight slow, they force you to fight fast. You see what I'm saying? And if you like to stay on the ropes, they make you stay in the middle. If you like to stay in the middle, they make you stay in the ropes. Once they do a role reversal, for instance, McDonald weighed 165 coming into the fight. Mayweather weighed 148. If any point in that fight, Mayweather's walking Maidana down, listen to me. Mayweather's winning that round. Simply because if we're both professionals and you got close to 20 pounds over me, there's no way in God's green earth I should be walking you down. It's just not possible. You know what I'm saying? It's just not possible. And when Manny Pacquiao fought Margarito, he walked Margarito down a little bit. But if he was walking Margarito down for majority of each round, that's crazy. Even against De La Hoya was walking Pacquiao down. But the minute Pacquiao started walking his ass down, nah, we're done. So that's ring generalship. All right. I know it's kind of all over the place, but I love the topic. Love to hear what everyone else has, what the idea of how scoring a fight is. Again, remember, it's extremely biased. It's emotional. It's racial. It's not racist. It's racial. It's bias. It's preference. It's partial, and it's hard to score. So that's why I don't buy into this ducking, or I don't buy into this, robbery. I'm sure there is, but it's so much of it that I gotta stay out of it. So that's that. Let me know what you think. Shout out to 78 for bringing this conversation up, because too much people are saying this person won, this person lost, this person just tell us your bias. So this the topic of this question, the topic of this video the topic should be tell us your bias, because this is what it's gonna be, and that's my bias. All right, peace out.